Let's see what we are going to do. Okay. This silhouette. There we go. I don't want to do a if I do a shaker, I don't think I'm gonna do a shaker. It's a small guy. Oh, it's a little bitty 3. Let's make it, if you're going to, okay, so we're going to start with the silhouette 3, with the number 3 in our silhouette. And one of the things to remember when you're making and enlarging your letters, you want to enlarge everything together. Because if you do just one item, it will definitely mess you up. And you'll be very mad at yourself because everything else will be too big or too small for your project. So you always want to size it together as one. Just grab and then grab it from the corner, which sizes all angles left and right, width and height at the same time. That's the way I like to do mine. So this is going to be, overall project will be 4, almost 4 inches wide and 5 and almost 5 3/4 tall, which is great. That will help us to create this. My husband's coming into the room. Alright, so now that we have it sized right, I'm going to take these here, which I've already turned them into the file that I get off of Etsy. Hey Beverly, how are you? The file that I get off of Etsy, when I purchase this file, these lines all come in as cut lines. So I had to change them independently to perforated lines so that it would perforate the item. So I'm going to group these all together individually so that when I cut them, the perforated lines will stay with the portion of the 3 that it should be. And this, undo. That's the one thing that I dislike about these files. I wish they would come in as a group instead of as an individual, but it is what it is, so we'll just keep on going. Beverly, hello. You are the first in today, honey, this evening, which is I'm in here working on a 3D letter 3. Earlier today when I was on live, Victoria had asked if I would help show how to make a 3D letter 3, and so I'm doing that right now so that when she watches this video, she will at least have an idea of what to do for her letter 3. Okay, so I downloaded my file off of Etsy, which I had already had. I have all of the letters and numbers for this particular style. This is not a box. It's just going to be the letter 3. And now I am going to go over. These are all of our pieces. I'm going to do this one in pink so that we'll know what's going on. There we go. So we have 3 layers and 1 layer in pink. All right. And if we wanted to, we could do another layer, but I think that's fine. This is the back. I don't know why they make the back backwards. When you flip it over, that it'll be the back of it. But that's the back of the 3. Our side pieces that we'll glue together. And then we'll need to cut some of these pieces in duplicates and triplicates in some cases to make them work, okay? But let's go to Creative Fabrica and let's find us some pretty little pretty girl backgrounds that we can use for this project. All right. So here I am on Creative Fabrica, and I have a subscription, so everything that I want will be free. I'm going to find something to download. I love how that purple magic font is. That's really cool. I guess it's Halloween time, so we could find something that's girly Halloween. I'm not really into Halloween stuff, so let's find something that's not as spooky, if you would. Where did you get the file? I got the file off of Etsy, and if you just Google 3D files, you can find them, or 3D letters and numbers, you can find tons and tons and tons out there. The one thing that I would tell you is that some people sell the letters individually, and some people sell them as a group, and I bought the file that was sold as a group. In some cases, you just have to watch it, but in some cases, the group files are this for some people the same as the individual file. So look for ones that have the entire group together to save yourself some money. A through Z and in 0 through 9 are the letters that I've been able to find out there. But on Etsy, they're available on Etsy. So let's Google off of Creative Fabrica. I'm just out here looking for Halloween girls theme. Let's see, we got vintage cute girls. I'm just going to Google it and let it pull up here. I'm really not a big Halloween fan, so I might just go a totally different direction. If we don't see anything like cute, we want something that would be cute, nothing that's really spooky or gory. Yeah, see, like I'd never do these little girls right here. That's just not my style. That's not my thing. These little girls aren't so bad, but for a 3-year-old, that still might be a little more than what I would want. Yeah, I'm not finding anything that's just making me go, oh wow, let's use these. And for the sake of not being on here all night, I'm just gonna, let's go a different direction. I'm not a big fan of Halloween, although I tried. Hey, these little kids aren't so bad. What are these? Let's look at this image. Guess they're in their costumes or something. Just not a big fan. Do you like Halloween, Beverly? I am just not a big fan. So let's go a different direction for girls. Let's do this. This is Creative Fabrica has a lot. Sometimes it's too much stuff. It's so overwhelming. It could be, what's hot for kids right now? I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, I know what we can do. I know what we're going to do. I already have it. I just saw it right there. We're going to do a little cute unicorn. I already have one. So let me pull that up. Let's pull this up. We're going to bring in this cutest little unicorn that I already have, and we're going to use that for our number 3. I'm just doing this to show you what you go through when you're creating. The design phase always seems to be the part that is the longest. You guys get to see all my files that I have inside of my computer right now. I guess I can search unicorn instead of going through all those. But the design phase always seems to be the most challenging portion of making your items, because designing it and cutting it, maybe I should say it like that. Designing and cutting seems to be always the most challenging pieces for me. I am not finding, I have this specific design in my head that I know I have in my set here. Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to look real quick one more time. No, Halloween is a terrible time for our family. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not a fan of Halloween either, and I can understand completely why it's horrible for you. I'm so sorry, honey. I am so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry. That breaks my heart for you just to even have to hear you say it out. I completely understand. I lost my brother 2 days after the 4th of July. And so the 4th of July, while it's always when we have our family reunion, there's a portion of us that are still kind of, we're excited to be together with family, yet we're still kind of on the back of our heads. We still think and know. So I can understand and relate with how memories get jogged just by the time of year it is. It's so funny too, because I was at I guess I shouldn't say funny, but it's interesting because last night I was at a birthday party for someone, and I ran into my brother's best friend, and it just brings back a flood of memories just even seeing him. So I guess I can say that I completely understand where you are. And I was raised in the church, so historically, as we had never really celebrated Halloween from, I was raised Church of God in Christ, so Halloween was never a celebratory time for us. Over 30 years, wow. Yep. Yep. It's never been a celebratory time for us either, honey. I can't believe I can't find my little unicorn. What did I do with my unicorn, Beverly? I have way too many graphics in here. He's so cute, too. I'm looking for it. It's a, what is it? It's a, unicorn with it's almost like this little deer over here, but it's a unicorn. And as soon as I go to do something else, I'm going to run across it. But okay, we're going to pick a different graphic. I don't want to keep us waiting. I keep saying that, then I keep looking for the unicorn because I want him. He's so cute. I can't believe I can't find it. Where is it? And that treat box isn't going to do it for us because let's take Winnie the Pooh. We'll take Winnie the Pooh. Not what I want, but we'll take Winnie. Okay. Oh yeah, and Winnie's got all his little friends with him. Okay, so we're going to copy Winnie the Pooh and go over to our letter that we were working on. We're going to set him here. And we're going to move him off to the side. We can close this up because we don't need this right now. And we're going to reduce Winnie because he's way too big. Up, and he is an SVG, so we want to put all of his little items, objects together. Let's move these. We don't want, I want everything to be, to group. I want everything to group. I don't want it to... Oh, come on. Why is this doing this? And I can't find words today. Why am I struggling with words, honey? I can't find words today. There we go. We want those together and group them. We're just getting them out of the way because we don't need them right now for what we're doing, but we want all of Winnie's stuff to be together. Like how I just lost the little bee's face. I don't want that. I might not even use that bee. So let's group all that together for Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, that's going to be adorable. Okay, so we're going to add Winnie the Pooh here. And do we want anything else? I tried to search unicorn, but it came up with, it didn't come up with what I was looking for. So I'm not sure what happened to the file, but I did have, I know I had a, and I know it's on there, I just can't find it. I'll search again later maybe. I don't know. But I know I had it on there, I just don't know where it went. So it's a girls' party, so we want to glam this up a little bit and make, we're going to change Winnie the Pooh's shirt and make it pink as well. Let's ungroup him. And let's click on his shirt. And let's turn his shirt to pink. Oh, a really dark pink, not a light pink. How about that? Oh, that's a pretty pink. Do you think that's a pretty pink? I think that's cute. Let's see if we turn his honey. Well, that makes it look like he's got toxic honey, doesn't it? We don't want toxic honey. Yeah. Okay. We will leave, I just want his shirt pink. So we'll leave his shirt pink. And, yeah, that was toxic honey. We'll leave this pink. The comments are over here. That's why I keep looking over this way when I try to look for the comments, because I'm working straight ahead so that I can see what you're saying. We'll leave Winnie the Pooh pink. And I'm going to offset him. I'm going to make him a little bit smaller. You know, I like my layers, so I'm going to offset Winnie. And I'm going to make this layer using the offset. I'm going to make it a little larger and apply it. And then before I move, I go in and I make a color. I set my color because when you move them, then it's harder for me. It may not be for other people, but it is for me. And I'm going to find a color that makes him look, well, makes him look good. Not yellow because his body is yellow. So let me stay in this pink family. There we go. And we'll offset them one more time just for the love of offsetting, right? I'll click the offset and I'll hit offset again. And then I'll go before moving him and I'm going to turn this one into a darker pink. There we go. And we will keep Winnie together. And we will set him. I think if we set Winnie right here, he'll be cute. And let's get the bee. Enlarge the bee so we can put its head on, right? Let's set that right there. And then let's group everything together for our little bumblebee. And I have an idea of what we're going to do with the bumblebee. So we're going to group him. I need him to be big enough so that when we put a little wobble on him, he will wobble. And we are not going to offset him because I don't want him to have too much weight when I put the wobble on him. And I'm not going to use the flowers, so we'll get rid of those. Now let's fix this background because even though it's pretty to me, it's too adult. So let's find a kitty Background, is that too much pink? Yeah, it's a little too much pink. What do I want for the background? What do you think we should do? Oh, those polka dots are cute. Oh, there we go. That's cool for a little kid. Little stars, and they're all kind of soft pastels. And then we can scale them and see if we want them bigger or smaller. Which one do you like, Beverly? The big or the small? And I don't like the color of this bee, so let's change his colors. While you're telling me which of those you like, I'm going to ungroup the bee. And we're going to change his colors because the brown and the, it's not doing it for me. So let's turn the bee to black. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. This is one of the things I like about SVGs because you can always change the colors on them. That looks so much better for a little bee. We'll make them a little bit smaller and we'll stick them right there. And I think we're ready to go to cut. That's going to be our stars. Oh, we better go. Okay. So now we need to do our print and cuts for our pieces. Oh, those are gorgeous. I love it. I'm going to do it just like that. Alright, so we have all of our pieces here. Let's go to print and cut now. Let's do that part first. I'm going to go up to the piece of paper icon, which is on my setup panel, my page setup, and I'm going to change this to a letter size because my paper is going to print out on letter, and I'm going to turn on my registration marks. I like to make my inlets as wide as I can so that I can get as much of my paper that I can get to use, much as possible. I'm going to move out the pieces that I don't need to print. All of these pieces are not needed. This is a clear background, but when it prints on the white paper, it will show white. I like to have it clear because when I print white on the back of it, then it gives my paper a little grayish hue. So I'm going to print it on the clear background. And then I'm going to print, duplicate Winnie the Pooh, and we're going to do 3 of him. I'll do 4, just in case one rips. So we'll duplicate these again. Nope, undo, wrong word, wrong thing. Hit undo, click and duplicate instead of paste. And there we go. And then we'll do 3 of the bumblebees. And since we got all this space, you know, the empty space, we might as well use it. So I like to do duplicates just in case something doesn't print or cut properly. You don't have to do it that way if you know that you're doing it great and without error, then that's cool. But I like to do mine with multiples. And I'm going to turn my print bleed on just because I want it to cut to the end. All right. Now we're going to go in and we're going to print this. And let's see what kind of paper I have in here. I have my matte paper. I'm going to cancel that for a minute because his foot looked like it was awful close to the 3 and I didn't want that to mess up. So I'm going to go ahead and print again. And, oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. Print. Husband, you learning? Print there.
Learning what?
And learning how to do what I'm doing.
I just came out here to hang out.
My husband says hi. He just came to hang out, he says. I know I like to print and cut duplicate. I don't usually have a lot of problems with my print and cut, But the biggest thing I have problems with is with it reading the registration marks. If I have an error before it gets an opportunity to do the print and cut, then that's when I have my biggest challenges. And it drives me up a wall. Beverly said hi, honey.
Hi back.
He says hi back. Okay, so we're using the premium presentation paper and a mat. I'm going to use that, and then we are going to send it off to print on our Epson EcoTank printer, and we'll see what we get. All right, and while that is printing, I'm going to bring in my paper for the other stuff here. What are you doing, honey?
You doing 2 shows today?
I know it, right?
What?
Nope, I'm just hanging out, going live. I just went live, hanging out with my peeps. I'm not on the actual show. This isn't my 1 o'clock Sunday. This is just me hanging out. Why is that taking so long processing? There we go. I'm just hanging out with my peeps, baby. He says you're doing 2 shows today? No, so earlier when I was on, Victoria had asked me to show her how to do a 3D letter free. And so I am doing that for Victoria. And I just said that I'd come on live and do it. It's easier for me to do them live instead of having to edit videos, so I like to do them live. Okay, that is printing, and it is almost done printing. And I was getting my mat lined up for the pink when we're ready for our pink. So that's what I was doing. That's what you saw me doing. Okay, this has printed out. Let's see here. Oh, I guess we need a camera, don't we? That printed out. There we go. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't even realize that camera wasn't on. Okay, so here we go. We've got it printed. Our 3 is there. Our registration marks are on. I take my little squeegee and make sure that it's down. And I'm going to line it up in our printer. I love that Winnie the Pooh with that pink shirt on. Alright, so we put it into the printer. Now let's go back and look at the screen and get it all lined up so we can send it over. The important part about when you're doing the print and cut is not changing anything. You cannot change anything on the paper. And then I also want to make sure that I pick the right paper, because that seems to be a downfall for me lately, is picking the right paper. Okay. So I am going to, sometimes I think I get in a hurry and I forget to pick the paper. Oh, thank you, Beverly. Yeah, I was on at 1. We did a, what did we do earlier? Oh, I made a mobile. I made a mobile. Someone wanted to see a mobile and a cake for a cake topper, and that's what I made. It was fun. It was cool. What am I doing? Photo paper. Photo paper. Right there. Print and cut. Let's cross our fingers that the registrations read, because I had trouble with this silhouette. If this one messes up, then we'll go to another one. So it's taking to register. It's not going to register. I'm not going to fight with it. I can tell right now just by hearing it that it's not registering. So we'll switch the machine. I'll go to my white machine because I haven't used it at all today. Alright, I'm loading up the different machine. I don't know why that particular machine, oh, that probably was a nice butt shot, I'm sorry. I don't know why that machine is not registering. It registered once right for me today, and the cut messed up and I stopped it, and ever since then it has not registered right. Now that machine, the white one right there, is just picked up and registered that right off the bat. It's going. So I don't know why I don't have names for them. I just call it black number 1 is not working right. Okay. Husband, since you're down here, will you make yourself of use for me? Don't you want to be helpful? No? No? Will you give me a white piece of paper? Down, down. It's an 8 by 10. Over. Yep, go down again and look for white. There you go. He said that was a trick question. He didn't want to be of use. Do you see? Hey, Cassandra, how are you? My husband is sitting in here with us. He said that was a loaded trick question. Since he's down here, do I want to be of use? Okay, so now what I'm doing now, in case you guys are wondering, I just set up a piece of white paper ready for this because I'm going to cut this exact same, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut this exact same background in white as well. So I'll take off the registration marks for it now, but we're going to keep it in a 3 by 3, and I only need... And I'm cutting it in white so that it can help give me strength on my paper. I need 1 of these. I'll need 2 of these. This will help you. I like to have things be a little sturdier. So I'm going to cut them out in white as well, since the print and cut has already worked. So we're going to do 2 of the letter 3s to make it sturdier. And we'll do 3 of these little guys to make them sturdy as well. So we'll put this in the printer or in the Silhouette. And we will let that go to work cutting. I'm looking at the way that cut. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me send this one. Now let's see if this machine is going to cut this right or if I'm going to have to scream on it today. We'll go back to our original one and see what it does. And while I'm waiting on that to connect, let me show you this. It cut very well, you guys. This is a premium paper. I think this is the paper that I picked up from Walmart. This is a Walmart brand premium paper. And it's like $10. It's their photo cardstock matte. It's really good paper. It's $10 or it's less than $10, and I love it. I love it. And since it's at Walmart, it's very inexpensive to use. You don't have to buy all of the expensive stuff off of Amazon and different places that they tell you have to get. This is actually a very good paper. Okay, so we're going to send that in to cut, and look at how clean these cuts came out. Yeah. Now, because I don't want to bend them up, I'm going to take this off with my spatula, and I'll show you guys how clean that came out. Didn't that come out good? That was a good cut. Alright. And we'll just take them off. Now the design phase on this was a lot easier because we didn't have to do a lot to the back of it, and we already had our images that we could use. Right, Winnie the Pooh. There we go. Now we want to just set this to the side. Okay, you use that paper too. I love that paper. It's affordable and it gives you a really nice product. And it comes in matte and it comes in gloss as well. It comes in matte and gloss, so don't sleep on that from Walmart. Okay, so while that one is running, we'll move all of these things off to the side. In fact, I'm going to get rid of these. I'll keep one bumblebee, but we don't need the others. And I'll keep one letter 3 because we only need one of each. Since I'm done with these items, I like to move them to this side of my board because I don't need them anymore. Next, I'm going to cut out my letter 3 that will actually be the base of the letter itself. And I'm going to change my mat back to a 12 by 12 because I have a full, well, almost a full piece of cardstock. I'm using a piece that I cut something out of already, but I'm just going to use my scraps to do this. And I'm going to cut 3 of these, again, for strength and for strength, and flip that one. Oh, nope, don't duplicate. I want to flip this vertical. No, undo. I want to flip it horizontal. Y'all see all the stuff I go through to create this mess. So here we're going to put it in there, and that way I can get 2 prints out of that right there. Okay, that's the purpose of why I flipped that, so that I can get more out of this cut. And then this is the back, so we'll put that right here as well. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. No. I don't want to do that. I want to get these in here somehow. Let's see. Let's move this. I want to get my little fill these with color so we can see them. I want to get these on this pink piece of paper. I'm trying to squeeze it all in as one, you guys, instead of wasting multiple pieces of paper on my project. So I'm trying to make this work onto my onto this one piece of cardstock. I'm going to flip the object here, and we're going to try to get these to fit in. I'm not going to be able to get it to do it. I know I'm not, because I'm missing this paper right here. Let me show you why I know I'm not going to be able. I'm missing this whole big corner because I'm trying to save this piece of, I'm trying to utilize this piece of pink paper. And in theory, I really need to just bite the bullet and go ahead and get another piece of paper. But even if I got another piece, would I have enough room to do them all? Since this is just a sample of showing, I really don't want to waste my good paper. What to do? Well, it's clear that I'm going to need to get another piece of paper, but I want to fit this all onto one. And I have one more piece to squeeze in here. And let's see if we turn this guy this way. Sometimes you just got to play with the stuff on your mat to try to get them to work. So we have all our pieces in there. Let's see. Then will you pass me a piece of the pink paper up in the top? Yep, big pink. Yep, any one of them. Just grab a pink one. It'll be fine. Whatever color your heart picks is great. Thank you. All right. You picked the exact same one we had. You were great. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, love. He's going to recommend that I go on live a lot more because he's going to say I treat him nice while I'm on live. He says, nope. All right. Okay, so then I flip it over and I make sure that I press it down onto my paper because this 110 cardstock paper Basil from Joann Fabrics is very thick. And sometimes when your paper is thick, it will, when your blade starts cutting it, it'll move off the mat if your mat's not really sticky. So we're going to add in here all of the things that we want to be pink for sure to try to get the best bang out of this piece of paper. This is the way that I roll when I'm creating paper products. I flip things around to try to get the most I can get out of my cut because paper is sometimes inexpensive, but I don't like to waste it either. So I'm going to flip and get the best bang for my money and make the cuts work. And I just twist these babies in here any way that I can because this is all just strengthening pieces. Make it work, you guys. Make it work for you however you want. I like to make my paper. I like to get the best that I can out of my paper. Okay, so there we go. We're going to print all, what is that? 11 pieces. No, that's 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 pieces here. We're going to print those 11. Oh, you guys can't even see what I was doing. Why didn't you tell me? Let me show you what I did on the screen before I hit print. I squoze these into this piece of paper so that I can make them work. You guys didn't even get to see that. I'm so sorry. All right, so now I'm going to send them over. And I got to change my paper again because this is 110 cardstock. And it is going to be on our white machine. I'm sorry that you didn't get to see me doing any of those. Let's move that, make sure that's not connecting, touching. So we've got all those pieces included. And while that is waiting to connect, right here, it's going to tell us that it's syncing up. Make sure it stays at 110. It's ready, and we will allow it to go. Now, I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. It doesn't have to go as slow as a 1, but we'll speed it just a little bit, not too much, because we don't want to break our blade tip. So, go. Okay, so we'll come back over here, and I'm going to switch you down. I have a good husband. He's hilarious, too. He likes to come in here and harass me is what he calls it, his favorite time to harass me. But because he's on here where witnesses can, you guys can report to the police how he's being quiet. So I'm pulling out all of these white pieces are going to be just what? They're just strengthening pieces. They're going to help us strengthen make our other cutout items a little firmer. We just add some firmness to our cutout pieces. And we're going to just put these on top of, I like to put everything together based on their shape and their cutout items. So we'll put these here, and then these 3s will go with this 3. Okay, so those are going to go together there. We have all these items together, the bumblebees all together. I like how the bumblebees little antennas cut out right too. Alright, we're going to come back to this little half piece of paper that we have, and I'm going to cut out my remaining 3s on this piece. And after this, after we cut out the remaining 3s, we have one more thing that we will need to do. I'm sorry if the silhouette is loud. They're loud machines. So let me go to the screen again. And I'll move all this stuff over here because we've cut that already. And this is my other 3. I'm going to flip that back. I'm going to cut out 2 of these. And even though these are the exact same things, I'll just cut out this one. I think I might need 2. Let's see if we can get 2. And duplicate. And we'll do it like we were going to do before. Squeeze this in here so we can get 3. And that's where the gap is, so we should be good there. And I'll send this over to print or cut on one of the other machines as well. I just rotate machines. Whichever one wants to act right is the one that we're going to use. I'm not going to fight with them today. If black machine number 1 wants to act bad, then we'll let them act bad and I won't fight with it. Alright. What weight is the cardstock again? The cardstock is 110 pounds. The basil, however you pronounce it, from Joann Fabrics, it's 110 pounds. The pink. The white that I'm using, of course, is a, it's just plain cardstock, which is 65 pounds. So it doesn't have a lot of weight to it at all. It's very thin, very flimsy. Now we need to get one accent piece while all of these are going. We can delete all of these. We don't need any of these. Okay, we'll put these to the side. And we need these 2 to have accent pieces to them. This is if we were going to do a shaker, and we're not going to do a shaker, so I'm going to just throw that away. The machine was sounding funny, so I had to look back at it to see, make sure it was printing right. And I'm going to duplicate this. And duplicate again. But before I figure out where I want it, I got to find out what access piece of paper I have. So, because this is just a project that I'm just messing around with, it's not an actual gift for somebody or a project for someone, I'm going to see if I can find a big enough scrap piece of paper to use. And this is why I like to keep my scraps, because I can use these for testing, playing, having fun, and I don't have to go into my good stock. And some of these scrap pieces of paper are big enough to do actual projects with, but some of them are just going to be just sized just right for this. I was trying to see if I could find a pink glitter down in here, and I have, oh my gosh, I have so many scraps. That's pretty. Is that big enough? I don't know. Let's just use this. We'll use this glitter right there. Alright, so we'll get out another mat. And we're going to cut that off so it doesn't have anything to drag on. And we'll put this onto our mat. Flip it over. I was going to burnish it down, but I see I've got it crooked. So let's do this. This is some really thin glitter paper. Oh, it was cut crooked, so that's fine. This glitter paper is extremely thin. It came in a packet from Hobby Lobby or one of those glitter packets, and I wouldn't use it on a project. It's so thin, so it's perfect to practice with. But we will use this glitter paper, and it gives us enough room to have our Winnie the Pooh one here and one here. We're not going to print duplicates of this. We'll use a plain white paper to do our duplication. So let me go back to this screen, because again, you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to print it out. I'm going to cut this out on that. And let's send it. Because this glitter paper is so thin, I'm not going to call it glitter because it'll cut it way too deep. I'm going to do it a cardstock, and I'm going to run it at 2 passes over and let it cut that way. Okay? And let's go back to our main camera. And here we go with our 3s that have cut out. Now these 3s have cut out much faster than our other that we put in first because of all the perforations that they have to have. Alright. So, just making sure that we get everything together here before we get ready to do our cut. That. And last cut. Here we go. This is just going to be our backup pieces for our glitter pieces. Since the glitter is so thin, I am cutting some support pieces for it. Alright, so we have that. And this one cut out fast too. Let's go back to our screen here. This glitter paper is so thin, so I'm going to cut supportive pieces for it. And I just have an 8 by 10 piece of paper. So I'm going to do, first of all, 2 of these. And we can flip one because they are, doesn't matter which side you put them on, they're the same thing when you turn them around on your 8 by 10 piece of paper. But we want to give ourselves enough room to print them out. Lower them just a little bit. And then bring our Winnie the Pooh in and cut him again. Okay. As soon as these cut, then we'll be ready to put everything together. Hey, Victoria, how are you? I'm here for you, sis. I am here for you. We haven't put it together yet, so you're okay. You are okay. We are just cutting everything out. And the parts that you missed, if this live will always be back for replay, so you can go back and watch those. Alright, so don't cry, don't cry. We're here. We are here. And I am let me see, you guys can't see what I'm doing, can you? I'm just pulling this glitter off of the mat. Alright. More pieces. We just have one, the last step is cutting out now. Alright, let's go back to our design screen. And everything, we got everything done and designed. We just don't have everything cut. My God, it's taken a long time to cut these pieces. It is taking a long time. Hello, hello. Let's see. We have a visitor in the craft room. Let's see if you guys can. Oh, you can't see him. He's over there. See him hunched down over there pretending like he's not listening to me talk about him. My husband is down here. He says this is the only way he can spend any time with me because I'm always in this room. Is that true, honey?
Yep.
He said, yep. You're not doing nothing but looking at Facebook. All right, the last page printed behind us. Let's go. And we're glad to have you with us, dear. We're glad to have you with us. They even say hi. Look at how that happened. I put those too low. That makes me mad. I hate when I make stupid mistakes. We were doing so good, and then I put those down on the paper too low, so they cut the bottom of Winnie off. But I'm not going to reprint them. We're going to make that one work. I hate when I do stupid stuff. Don't you say a word, Timothy Barger. I saw your eyebrows go up. Don't you say a word. Okay, last mat, last item to pull. These threes go for the backing of this, so we're going to, remember I like to keep everything together. We'll pull all of this off of this mat here, and we will be ready to assemble. It took us an hour, you guys, to design and cut all of these pieces. The design and cut is, remember I said it's the part that takes the longest. And even with the design, we went with the simple Winnie the Pooh. And yet it still took us an hour to get Winnie cut out and everything put together. So when you're doing these, make sure you leave yourself enough time to get them completed, especially if you're going to do them for gifts for a person. You want to make sure that you leave yourself enough time. And Victoria, when you go back and watch the beginning of this video, I shared with you when you size these down, you want to make sure that you size them in the corner, right? You size everything together. If you don't, you'll have, your pieces won't fit back together well. So go to one of the corner sides. Oh, you're not looking, you can't see what I'm doing. How about this? Okay, so go to one of your corner sides. When you grab everything and size them together so that it sizes all your pieces larger or smaller together. You never want to do just, if you do just the three and size it, when you go to cut these pieces out, they'll be too small. So the best thing to do is to size everything together before you start designing it, and then make your designs and try not to resize anything from there. All right. So I am done with that portion. I'm going to put this screen down, and we are going to just work on putting this baby together and talking to each other before we get ready to go to bed for work tomorrow. Okay. So where am I with my camera? Here we go. Here we go. So I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what was that? All right. Now, all of these little pieces. This is a file that I purchased off of Etsy. And didn't come with instructions. But a lot of them are self-explanatory. Supposedly. But we'll make it work. Okay. So this is all the parts that are going to make a circle around the 3 in order to make it a number box. Now these normally come much wider, like they're much thicker, but I shrink these down because I don't want it to be super duper thick. I want it to be, I mean, it could get like that thick, and we don't want it that thick. I mean, maybe you do, but I didn't. Not for the sake of our just designing here. Okay? So you fold all on the perforated lines. Be careful when you fold to make sure you get the perforated lines and not actually fold your paper. And we are going to put this baby together after we get everything folded. Okay. Now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, as I'm looking at it, I'm trying to see how this would go together. Like, where are these bends and crooks that this would go together? So we have 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is the back piece. And it's the back, so when it was cut like this, so that when you turn it over, the back will have the same design as the front, which is pretty cool. It would have the same, if you're using, if you were using design paper, that's why they do that like that. Now I printed multiple layers of this 3, and the reason that I do that is because I am going to curve this around the inside of, instead of the outside. Oh, okay. I see how this goes. See how this one has this little double. This obviously is the part that goes here. Now, what's the top and what's the bottom? A lot of times they make the files so that they're all the same. Yes. And I'm going to glue mine on the outside, and then I'll put a backing piece on it. So use a little bit of glue. This is where my art glitter glue comes in handy because it is absolutely a fast drying glue. Will bring you guys in closer. Get out of the way, stuff. I got stuff everywhere. And let's start building our letter. There, there, and there. Hold everything in, snug as a bug, until the glue takes hold. Snug as a bug until the glue takes hold. Let me get my bone folder. Turn this around this way. Okay, so there's that part. Now, because this has a flap on it, we know that it's going to have a connecting piece without a flap. And so I'm going to see if this would be the 2. That's the connector. Yes. If you like to put together puzzles, then this would be an awesome project for you because it does become like putting together a puzzle. And maybe that's why I enjoy doing 3D letters, because I like to do puzzles, although I don't do them at home. I do enjoy doing puzzles. When I was growing up as a little girl, or as a teenager, my mom sometimes would pull out a puzzle and just leave it on the kitchen table. And as you come along, you can just slide a piece in. And sometimes, especially when my dad was starting to deal with dementia, I would go over there and check on him, and we'd do puzzle pieces, and she'd had a puzzle sitting out on the table. And it was fun just sitting there talking to him and trying to put pieces together while we were chatting. So, great childhood memory from my dad. All right, so this piece, obviously because it has a flap, it will need a non-flap piece, and it needs a little small piece on that end. So I am going to see if this will work. And it does not work that way, so it might work this way if I turn it over. Sometimes you just got to play with them to see. And that is the piece that goes there. This piece does go there. And this one is going to be like interesting to fit in here. So we will start with these two flaps and this flap with gluing it. I'm sorry, I'm not reading the comments. Okay, Victoria just said she'll watch it. So we're going to glue these flaps together and then hold it in there. Yeah, I haven't done a puzzle in a long time now that I mentioned that. That would have been the last time I did a puzzle at Mom and Dad's. You know that?
It's been that long?
It's been that long. They had a puzzle on the table for a while. When you go over after work.
I'm thinking I'm sort of remembering that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we just keep folding. Isn't it funny how you step away from memories? Okay, so now I'm going to glue these from the back because I got it fitting in there and I don't want to pull those pieces back out. Excuse me. And we'll just hold those down, glue those in. And so that's how it's looking in the back. Can you see that? That's how it's going to look in the back, but that's why I cut so many pieces out, because we'll cover that up so that it won't look bad. Alright? And we'll keep going. We're getting there, you guys. It's good. It's looking good. And so now we have another piece. This needs a flap. And I'm betting that this goes like this. Let's see here. We're going to flip that flap backwards. This will go like that. That'll go like that. We'll turn this into a side panel. Nope, that doesn't go like that. It sounded good, but it doesn't go like that. It must go this way, because that was too big to fit into the curve. So you just got to puzzle it together until you get it. And there we go. Puzzle it together until you get it. Take your time until you get all your flaps in the right space. There they go. Alright, so I'm going to put some glue inside of here. Glue that on to there. Then I'm going to flip it and put glue on this on these edges here. Okay. And press them in and down. Press them in and down. In and down. Hold them in, hold them down. Can you guys see what I'm doing? It's hard to see it and try to make sure I get it in the camera for you too. You're so quiet tonight. Is everything okay? How was your day? You guys are ready to go to work, aren't you? I am not. I'm not ready to go to work, but I gotta. Alright, so now we're going to do this piece. It will go like this into our box. We're going to glue this into the flap here. I always throw that. I don't know why that does that for me. And glue all of these pieces together. You okay, baby?
I was just looking at you throwing that thing away.
I know it.
Making a mess.
I'm making a mess. Don't come in here harassing. And glue again. Y'all hear my husband telling me I'm making a mess because I keep throwing that thing. That glue bottle. He forgot he was on camera. Otherwise, he'd probably really be harassing. Don't come in here harassing me. My people's gonna get you today. No, I'm not ready for work. I just got through making a tumbler. Oh, you did? What did you make? Tell me what you made. You know I love tumblers. Tell me what you made, baby. Alright, so this is the last piece, you guys. And then our 3 will be done in terms of the actual body of it, right? The body will be created. And we'll just fold these underneath and line those up again. What colors did you use too? I'm curious about that. I used to do a lot of tumblers. A lot of them. I did them with acrylic. And I still have my machines and stuff. I do them still. But I slowed down a lot when when we were living with my mom. I didn't have access to my tumbler machines and stuff. So that slowed me down a lot. And I just haven't picked back up. I've gone to do some other kind of crafting. Okay, so there's our 3. Put a little glue on the back of these flaps that didn't quite get glued down well. That looks good. Come on, y'all. Quit acting ugly. Okay, and we're going to fold these in now. We know where everything goes. We'll fold those in. There is our 3. We'll flip it over because for some reason this one doesn't want to hold. I don't know why my glue is giving me challenges for this time. Normally this glue holds great, but maybe it's losing its steam for me. I know it's not old. I don't know what's the deal, yo. Alright. There's our letter 3. Now this is going to piss me off. Come on now, glue. You just got to talk to it, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to put, my husband says, oh, yeah. That solves it, doesn't it, husband? Just talk to it. Talk to it. We're going to put a back on it. So, see, the back here will cover that up. Oh, thank you. Oh, you sublimated a unicorn with Jeremiah 2:9. Wow. I haven't done any sublimation of tumblers. I keep saying I don't want to get into it. I did have a sublimation machine. I have a printer down there that I converted to a sublimation machine when I was sublimating t-shirts. But I haven't done any tumbler sublimations, and I keep saying I'm not going to get involved in it. It looks so cool, but I don't need to buy another thing to create another hobby because I already have a laser cutter coming, which I think will be pretty cool. I don't need to buy anything else, and I keep saying I'm not going to get into sublimation. Alright, so there's how we beautify the back of it and cover up all those little flaps. And it helps add some strength to it as well. Alright. I used to make tumblers. You're right. I still make tumblers. I just don't make them on live anymore. I still make them. I just don't make them. I just don't film them. Like, people still order tumblers from me. I just don't film making them. Okay, so now we have all of these layers. And we're just going to strengthen our cardstock. So if we take 110-pound cardstock and layer it 3 times, that will make it 330, which will give it some really good strength. Really good strength. I am using this on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see This paper has ribs in it, and the ribs on this are going up and down, but the rib on everything else is going sideways because of the way that I cut this. So these will be the bottom pieces, and then these ribbed pieces will be the top. The ones that are going with the same flow of all the other pieces. I like making tumblers too. Maybe someday you'll have to show me how you do your sublimations. No, don't. Don't show me. I don't want to get into doing sublimation. Nope, 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 nope. Don't show me. And I've seen some really pretty ones. I'll just order one from you. How about that? You heard him in the background? Yeah, that's him back there. Yep, that's my honey. Okay, look at how thick that is. Now that's not flimsy at all. So this is 3 of them together. 3 pieces of paper. Look at how thick. This is the one. See how flimsy 1 is? And this is what happens with 3. See how that just thickens that up, doesn't it? Now, if I wanted to, I could make the back really thick, but we'll make the front thicker. We'll just make it 1 more round thick. Since we cut it out, we might as well use it. This will just make it really sturdy. Really sturdy. That's why I like to do multiple cuts and layers of our projects to make it really sturdy. Oh yeah, that's a sturdy piece of cardstock there. It's the sturdiest piece because these aren't that thick either. And now we're going to put glue on all of these pieces. And I like to use glue because hot glue will dry too fast. You won't, unless you know how to work extremely fast to get these measured up, then use glue. And use a glue that helps you can move around and align things. And I'm pulling my pieces up and out a little bit because when we glue these on, you want to make sure that they connect to the top, and if they're laying too flat, you have no way to get them connected. And I put the glue at the tip of the flap so that when it pushes down, then it'll spread out. Is my hope. It will spread out and get onto the other parts. So see how that's up? They're up a little bit instead of laying flat. And then when I put these on, this on top of it, and I push them down, that will help them connect. Alright? Does that make sense? Then I hold it in, and I align them, because there's no other way for me to make sure that it's down and connecting to it other than having them up. And that's how we get it to connect. Alright. There we go. See that? And look at how thick it is. That's thick, thick. And if you got a little spot where there's the glue didn't quite get to it, just go ahead and stick it in there and glue it down some. That's our letter 3. It makes a difference with the layers. It really does, Victoria. Look at your letter 3, baby. That's the letter 3. Now the embellishment part. You can stop here if you wanted to, but now let's embellish. Also, I forgot to say, some people put weights in the bottom of the cardstock inside before they seal it up so that it will hold up. The thickness of this card, or the thickness of this letter 3, see how thick that is across there? I am not putting weights in the bottom of it because I think it's already thick enough. It is 1.5 inches wide. And actually, that's with me narrowing it. I think normally it comes 3 inches wide. And I didn't want it that thick. So, look at how flimsy this is. Remember I said we're going to put some backup on it, because that is really flimsy. You can't even really call it cardstock. the package that it came in, it's, oh, I can't even remember. I've had it for a while. I bought it from, Hobby Lobby, I believe. It's one of their glitter packages. It's really thin. I like it because it doesn't have fallout, but it is flimsy. And so we're going to back it up with one more piece of cardstock. We're using 2 pieces of regular plain cardstock, which is 65 pounds. So if we use 65 and 65, that's 130, which makes it just a little bit over 110-pound cardstock piece. And then whatever the little thin piece of glitter, which I think that little thin piece of glitter was probably about 20. It was so thin. But that helps it out a little bit. And we will just stick it onto, I'm not going to puff it up. I would, you know, if I were doing this to gift away, I would probably put some puff up pop darts on it, tape on it. You could, you don't have to. You don't have to. And we'll center that in there. Now from here, it's all personal preference. I mean, the way you embellish your letter, it's all personal preference from this point on. The only thing you want to do is make sure you don't press too hard on your letter to squeeze or to bust the box down. But from here, I'm just going to keep on putting my layers together and gluing and going and putting layers together, gluing and going. And you can do as many or as little layers as you want, right? It's all an embellishment, personal preference. Some people put jewels and all kinds of stuff. I'll do pretty much whatever anybody asks me to do. But yeah, you can go and do, what do we got there? I wanted you to see, can you see that? That's what that looks like. Really soft little, we got one more layer that we're going to add on to it. One more layer that we're going to add on to it. It all really depends on what you want, Victoria, but you can email me and I will tell you, or you can hit me on, how do you get a hold of me? You can email me. I'll put my email address in the box. And it all really depends on what you want on your letter and how many of them you want. All that good stuff.
I would have covered that.
You wouldn't have covered it? How come, baby? It's supposed to be the outline.
That's your bling.
Yeah.
It's bling.
Come on, fool, husband. Y'all hear my husband? He said he wouldn't cover that. That's the bling that makes it blingy. He knows his wife is a bling girl. Come on through. We're putting some pop dots on this to pop this up. I know, baby, but it's supposed to be just like the outline of it. But you're right, it is the bling. He's so fabulous. I love it. He's like, I wouldn't have covered that. You would not have covered that. I can't find. All right, so it all really depends on what they want. And so if you're charging an item, you want to make sure that you charge for the paper, the materials that you use. You include, I just have like a base cost for my mat, my print, my machine, and I add that base cost to the material and paper that they use because all of it is wear and tear on your machine. So you want to make sure that you are charging enough for that to recoup those costs. And you also want to make sure that you are not working for free. And so you want to make sure that you have enough in it for your time, which really you can never be paid for your time when you're crafting. But you want to consider those things when you're pricing out for a customer, and really what kind of profit you're looking to make. Now, I've shared on this channel before, crafting is my relaxation. I have multiple things that I do for work, and so I don't charge to make a huge profit because I don't live off the money. I just craft off the money, and I just like to be able to recoup my cost and maybe a little bit for my time. But there are people who craft for a living or who do this for their financial paying of their bills. And so they charge probably more than I do, which is why I always say just inbox me, because I don't want you to charge what I charge and then not be able to meet your needs, right? Because I honestly have to say that there are times where I had in the past especially worked for free. I just simply recouped the cost for my material, but everything else I was doing was pretty much for free. And my husband had a conversation with me like, if you're going to do it, which is up to you, you should at least make a little bit of money. He's like, I get that you do it for your passion, but when you're doing stuff, and sometimes I take a loss, right? Because like the box that I made on Friday that I'm going to mail to Lisa, it'll probably cost me $15 or better to ship that to her, and I'm shipping it to her for free. And I just was making the gift, the product, because I just wanted to try it. So in that case, I'll take a $15 loss, but I enjoyed making it, and I know Lisa will appreciate it, and it won't bother me at all. Don't look at me in that tone, honey. You see, look at it. He ain't even supposed to be down here, all up in my business with my friends. Get out, husband, get out.
Costing us money.
I know it. My husband said I'm costing us money. Yep, you're right. Every day. Every day and every way.
I'm getting close to retirement. See,
you're getting close to retirement? You're going to be working till you're 900, baby. You can't retire. Your wife likes too much expensive stuff. Y'all hear that? Y'all let him know he can't retire. His wife likes too much expensive stuff. We just keep on layering our babies here. Now, I'm going to do Pooh a little different. We're going to do Pooh a little different. Notice I'm putting a backing on each one of our Poohs, because we are going to make Pooh a thick Pooh. He ain't going to be no weak and anorexic Pooh. He is going to be a thickum. We're going to make him a thickum. I got to get up and go to a meeting 8:30 in the morning. I got to sit in a meeting for 5 hours, so I better go to bed. 10:30. Y'all been hanging out with your sister for a minute here. We're almost done. We're going to get ready to go to bed because we got a long day tomorrow of sitting. A long day of sitting in meetings. There we go. All right. So now for Winnie the Pooh, we're going to glue one Winnie the Pooh on his we're gluing one of him on the layers, just like that. One on the layers. That's so pretty. Oh my God, look at how the glitter looks. That is gorge. And then we're going to take some pop-ups, and we're going to pop Winnie the Pooh up on the other ones. Babe, do me a favor. No, I got it over here. Never mind. Or do I? I don't. What did I do with them? I'm looking for my wobbles. Are they over there?
Wobble.
Yeah, they're you don't know what they are. I gotta find them though. I want my wobble so I can put my little baby on a wobble. So we're gonna glue him right there. I think I need two of them, one on his head. I should have put, let's take this off, the backing off of here. And let's put one on his head up here to give it a little more strength. No. There we go. Give it a little bit more strength. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay. We'll do that again. Rinse and repeat. And so, see, when you're pricing out, too, you got to think about all these little things like this. Buying all these little pop-up, what are these? Foam puff dots, all that stuff. It all costs you money more than just the, paper, right? In fact, some of this stuff is even more expensive than buying the paper. So when you price, you want to price for all of that, and that's why I don't like to share what I would charge for it as opposed to somebody who's doing it for a living, because you would not be able to pay your bills based on what I charge. You would not be able to earn your keep based on what I charge. And I do this because this is my relaxation. I work a full-time job. I run a homeless shelter. Look at how thick that is. I love Winnie the Pooh like that. Oh my God. Love it. I run a homeless shelter. I also am a elected official in my community. So I serve in that capacity. I do some public speaking. I earn from that. I do every now and then I sell craft products. People will ask me to customize gifts for them. So I do this as a means of relaxation and not a means of income. Okay? Alright, so that's our bumblebee. I cut extras out just in case one didn't print right. They all printed right. So we don't need to use these. And then I'll find my pop and we'll be done. Let me get my... Where are my... What did I do with my wobbles? I just had them. What did I do with those? No! And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't help you because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking for my little wobbles, you guys. Oh, there they are. This is a sign of a craft room with too much stuff. This is a wobble. This is a wobble. It's going to give our little bumblebee some movement. You take off one side and you will stick this one side of the wobble to the bee. If I can get it off the paper. So I'm going to stick this to the back of the bumblebee. Right? Like that. And then I'll stick the other part onto my letter 3. My husband is looking intently to see how this works. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to stick that here. Press it down. And now look at the movement that we have on our bumblebee. See? All that. You have to price for all of that, my loves, because all those things cost. And you want to make sure that you are pricing so that you can recoup the cost of at least your merchandise and your time. There's our letter 3. What do you think? Tell me what you think. With our little wobble, look at how thick that is. Oh my God, I love that. That's so thick. We got some movement with our B. And our little 3 is so cute. Look at that. It has a little bling added to it. And it is sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. I will switch cameras here so you can see it. That is our letter 3. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. That is so cute. Love it, love it, love it. All right, my loves. It's Sunday night. Y'all got wait a minute. Y'all got 3 videos out of me in one weekend. I did Friday, this morning at 1 p.m. this afternoon, and then tonight. I done spent all day with y'all. I had a great time, though. I did get my grass cut. My husband, he went and got dinner for us, so I didn't have to do any Sunday cooking, which is great because I hate cooking. And he's over here shaking his head. You know I hate cooking. I hate cooking. Ugh. I cut the grass before I cook. I'll cut the grass before I cook.
That's different.
But he says that's different. It's true. It's true. You know, I hate to cook. So we'll have that conversation another time, how my husband is he thinks I'm so weird that I don't like to cook. He's like, all women like to cook. No, we don't. No, we don't. That's just what you guys think we do. No, we don't. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. Have a good night. Try not to get in any trouble. And if you do, at least do it classy, right? Until then, I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night, sweethearts. Bye-bye.